Christmas from Fantasy Football with the Dork and the Dude.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. However you celebrate, the Dork and Dude, hope you have a happy one. And we're here for the Week 17 show.
That's it. It's our Christmas show. Got to do our little Hawaiian Christmas. All right. Did you cut that off, Dork? There's all kinds of shit going on there.
Okay, I thought the answers needed a little time.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, I was 7-8-1 last week, so
I was 8-7-1.
by rule, I wear the mask.
That's
Good call, dude. I should have gone with the Rams. I almost immediately regretted that. But
like I told you, they needed that game like blood.
That doesn't always mean anything, but
it does for the good teams.
The well-run teams. Anyways, let's get to Christmas.
Okay.
And let's get to. Are we starting off with waiver wire?
Yeah. Let's kick it off with waiver wire. It's going to be a short, quick waiver wire. We got 2 weeks left. There's not a hell of a lot out there, but
in playoff leagues, not a hell of a lot of you still playing.
That's it. All right, give me some quarterback waiver wire pickups. Week 17, Dork.
Okay, these are all desperation measures, but they're all out there, and it's more on who they're up against than anything. And that's Bryce Young, Michael Penix Jr., and got to say it, Mason Rudolph. He does have a good matchup.
That would be desperation.
Those are the desperation ones I saw who are owned in under 50% of the leagues.
There you go.
If you can snag a Caleb Williams or a Geno Smith, who I've seen out on some, I would say do it, again, if you're desperate. But in at least half the leagues they're owned. Yeah,
and if you're in a smaller league like we are, and if Brock Purdy or Justin Herbert's out there, snag those boys.
Obviously, there's but look at the matchups, I would say.
That's it.
You got anyone?
I just gave you Purdy and Herbert. That's all I got.
Okay.
Let's go running back waiver wire real quick.
I got Trey Benson, or watch the Arizona situation is my thing. See who's going to play.
It looks like Connor's not going to play.
Connor's not going to play. That makes sense. They just signed him, and
they'll
probably shut him down.
They're out of it.
And they have had a very good running attack. So I suspect who's ever back there is going to be a decent play. Trey Benson might be the first one, and then there's DJ Dallas. I think Ernie, that guy. Can you say his name?
I know who you're talking about.
Okay. DeMarcado or whatever.
It's a dart throw on any of those.
It's a dart throw on any of those, but if you check the waiver wire, the Arizona guy is probably a good. Who's going to play? Check the news.
Definitely,
it's not a bad. It's a good situation. So
yeah, and we're also getting into situations where teams are looking towards the playoffs.
Yeah,
and so that's why I got Ray Davis, Buffalo. Who knows? If Buffalo gets up, Cook might not even play in the second half.
And Brooks with Green Bay he got, once they had that game in hand, he got all the play. Might be different against Minnesota this week, but
yeah. And same thing. If you've got Josh Jacobs or, I got Derrick Henry and these guys and stuff, we're getting to the point where they might not play in some second halves. Right. And so you have to kind of, take that into account.
Exactly. If Baltimore goes up big in the first half against Houston, it's definitely a possibility.
Yep.
They may rest King Henry. That's a good point, dude.
That's what I'm thinking. And I've got your boy Allgeier.
Okay.
He gets in the end zone a little bit. I think he's got 6 touchdowns on the season. Yeah. Maybe 5. But he's a good play. And because I think they're going to be running the ball a lot. So he might get 50% of the carries.
And, of course, Kendre Miller from New Orleans.
Yeah, he didn't look too good last.
He didn't look great, but he's going to be their top guy.
And the Raiders are terrible.
The
Raiders won a game when they should have been tanking. Remember that happened last year to Houston?
Was it Houston?
Yeah, I think it was Houston.
2 years ago when Houston won in the last minute to give the Bears the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet they regretted that. Okay, you got any more running backs for the waiver wire there, Dorks?
I do not.
Okay, let's go wide receivers. I'll go Wicks, Green Bay. You got a touchdown last night. Christian Watson's always getting hurt.
Boy, he did again, didn't he?
Yeah. And so...
did you see on a play early, they threw it to Tucker Kraft, but Watson was about 10 yards behind.
Wide open.
That
would have been a long touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, in our league, Corn Pop dropped Wicks.
Oh, okay.
And picked up Dubs, and Wicks gets the TD.
I saw that, and
that hurts when that happens.
I've been abused and fooled by Green Bay receivers all year, so
yep.
I'm not going with that one.
Yeah, your boy Reed's on the waiver wire, isn't he?
He is, yeah, because every week it's someone different.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. It's good for the team, but not good for fantasy players.
That's about it. I got a Jalen McMillan.
That's my boy.
That's your guy, but he's available in most leagues.
And, I don't know why he's still out there. I think he's got like 4 touchdowns in his last 3 games.
Yeah. And if he, again, this is a matchup thing because Jacksonville is terrible.
Yeah.
And that's Westbrook Ikene.
Tennessee.
For Tennessee.
Yeah.
Not a bad play.
He's on our wire. I had to cut him a couple weeks ago.
Right, because Tennessee. But
I got my boy Calvin Austin III.
Okay.
If he's still out there.
If he's out there, yeah. Yeah, we've been talking about him a lot.
And Pickens is supposed to be back this week, which actually helps Calvin Austin.
Yeah.
Because then he gets more single coverage. Anybody else?
Yeah, I've been mentioning him. I was surprised he's still available in over 50%. My guy, Chig Okonkwo. He's getting targets like crazy.
He's a tight end.
No, he's a tight. Oh, I'm sorry. He was next on the list.
I got him as a tight end too.
And if you're in a PPR league, he's great. Touchdowns. He hasn't gotten a lot of them, but that's the only tight end I have.
Same with me. How about defenses to pick off the wire?
Okay, I got. This is mainly about matchups this week.
Sure.
And again, some of them are desperation, but they might have called you crazy for picking up Atlanta last week.
Yeah.
And they got 2 pick sixes against the Giants.
Yeah, they did.
And with that in mind,
that's the only thing that saved the team of clowns.
Yeah.
This week from having a rough week, which reminds me the voodoo's still happening on Ham.
Okay. So the Giants, if they're the gift that keeps on giving in this holiday season,
yeah.
If you need a defense, you could do worse than Indianapolis.
No doubt.
They're playing the Giants. There's also Miami against Cleveland and Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Yeah, who's terrible.
And
even if they play Winston, it looks like they're not going to. But even if Winston comes in or something,
yeah.
He's a turnover
He's
machine.
still a gunslinger who turns the ball over.
Yeah, I like that.
I got Jacksonville against Tennessee and Mason Rudolph.
Okay.
He threw 3 picks against Indy last week.
He's terrible.
And then, Tampa Bay with Bryce Young. Bryce Young has been better, but not really great.
No. He was playing good there for about 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah. And in the last 2 weeks, he's gone back to where he was at. Which isn't good.
And on fantasy, he just hasn't ever been that good.
No.
Even if he was, putting some wins up. So.
Yep. I got the Chargers versus New England.
Okay, that's a good one too. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's all I got actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Most people are going to be playing their defenses they've been riding with.
Oh, another one I wanted to mention is I know we love Penix here, but he's a rookie in his second start.
Yep.
And he's going outside in Washington. So the Commanders might be a decent pickup.
Definitely.
They don't have a good D, but, when you're playing a rookie quarterback, I could see Dan Quinn frustrating him.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
There's a lot of good defensive options out there or ones that could help.
I think Atlanta's going to try to run the shit out of the ball.
I think so, too. And they should.
Yeah. Any more?
Nope.
Me either. Okay, let's get on to our dudes. Give me some quarterback dudes, Dork Meister.
Okay, let's see. He's outside again, but don't stop playing Jared Goff, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a perma dude, but he has been rolling. There's no reason to think that won't continue against the Niners because the Lions have to win.
Yeah, they do.
If they want the home field.
Yep.
And I guarantee you they don't want to go to Green Bay or Philadelphia or even Minnesota, which is inside. So they're gonna be going all out, and I expect them to throw it pretty well. So Goff. I also have Baker and Stroud are two others.
I've got Baker versus Carolina. I got Knicks versus Cincy.
I do have Knicks, and then I got Jaden Daniels is my other.
Yeah, he's almost a permanent dude now.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, running back dudes.
I also had Did I mention Baker?
You did.
Okay. Sleepers. No, let's not do sleepers.
No, go ahead. Throw him out there.
I was thinking Rattler because Vegas.
He's terrible.
Penix just because he's kind of an unknown, a talented rookie, and he's playing a bad defense.
He might go off.
And I know I mentioned Washington against him, but, it could go either way.
Yep. Washington defense gives up points.
They do. And then, I mentioned Mason Rudolph. I know he's been bad, but he is playing against Jacksonville. And depending on how big your league is, or if you have a 2 QB league.
Yep, super flex.
He's got a good matchup.
I agree.
Okay.
Running backs. I'll kick it off. Pollard or Spears versus Jacksonville.
Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about there is who's going to get. I mean, they basically split carries last week.
They did.
I think Spears might be the slightly better play now because of his receiving ability.
Right.
So, yeah, I do like that.
And Pollard's banged up, and they've got nothing to play for. They signed him in the offseason to a big contract extension.
Right, he's their guy.
Yeah, so they might just rest the dude and go, why go out there and risk further injury?
Right.
And if that's the case and he's inactive, Spears is definitely a play.
Okay, I have Bucky. He's a perma dude.
I got Bucky Irving.
I got Ramondre Stevenson.
Okay, I can see that.
Against
Chargers?
Chargers, yeah. Their defense has been stout, but you can run on them. And he's had a good finish, put it that way.
Yeah, he has.
And on the other side, Gus Williams. New England ain't great at stopping the run, and I could see Gus getting a plunge or two.
You mean Edwards?
Gus Edwards. I'm thinking of the old Sonics guard, Gus Williams.
Yeah, you need to stop doing that, Dork.
I know. I even wrote down Gus Williams. I should just put Gus the Bus.
What a clown.
I don't have to think about it.
So anybody who's named Gus, you automatically call him Williams.
Gus Williams. Fortunately, that's a name that's going away. Well, that's unfortunate. Gus is kind of a cool name.
It is a cool name.
And
I love the character Gus in Lonesome Dove.
Okay. Don't remember that one that well, but anyways, another check status, see who's going to play, is Kenneth Walker III or Zach Charbonnet.
Yeah.
I mean, Walker's injured, but Seattle still has a shot at the playoffs. So if
they've got to win these next two games.
If he can go, he'll be going against the Bears, and the Bears are a wreck. So
problem about Walker is he's not doing well when he's in there.
Yeah.
He started off the year really hot, and now he's just mediocre at best.
Yep.
Charbonnet's looking like the better back, but he's got a questionable tag right now. So yeah, watch that. Okay, wide receiver dudes.
Okay, the one I'm I like a lot is might be under the radar, might not, is Adam Thielen.
Okay,
pass on Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
and he's become the go-to guy for Young, especially with Leggett likely out.
Pretty sad when you got to go to a guy in week 17 named Thielen.
Adam Thielen. What's he, 33 now?
Yeah,
but he's been catching a lot of balls.
He gets a lot of targets.
Yeah. Who you got?
I got. I think he's going to explode, and that's Puka versus Arizona.
Puka, yeah. When the past few weeks I've been seeing the Rams are up against top 10 receiver defense, And I've been like, I don't care. It's Cup and Puka.
Their matchup.
They're going off. I agree. Yep. I like Puka. I also, another kind of perma-dude is Nico Collins, who I think is going to have a real big game.
That dude might get 15 targets.
What with Dell out? And, yeah.
I like that.
You got any others?
Yeah,
I got a few.
I got McConkey versus New England. He's about the only guy they got.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a good chance to get probably 12, 13 targets, 100 yards, maybe a TD.
I got McLaurin against the Falcons.
He's a perma dude.
I got Ridley against the Jags.
Okay.
And your guy, Jalen McMillan.
I love him.
Yeah, he's playing against Carolina. They've had some success, but they're still not good.
And Tampa Bay's got to win this game, man.
Tampa needs this.
Big time. And they need Atlanta to lose in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any more?
No.
Tight end dudes.
First one is Dalton Schultz. With Dell out, I expect him to get more.
I can't recommend that guy. He looks like he's pulling a freight train out there.
He's getting targets, and in a PPR league, he could get you some points.
You got to hope. Yeah, you got to hope he scores, I think.
Yeah.
Well, he's kind of getting to be a perma dude, but I got Kraft versus Minnesota. He looked awesome last night.
Kraft has been really coming on.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And I think that's going to be a shootout.
To continue the Rams thing, Tyler Higbee is back. So he might be a good play against Arizona. Yeah. Even though Arizona is tough against the tight ends, I'm thinking it's the Rams. I don't care.
Right. Yeah, the Rams tight ends haven't been scoring much, though.
He got in last week.
Yeah.
So, which
is why he probably won't get in this week.
I wanted to talk about Trey McBride. Obviously, in the PPRs, he's a perma dude.
Yep.
But he hasn't had a touchdown all year.
Yep. And everybody keeps playing him when it comes.
Keeps talking about him, and it might get to the point where they try and get him one because he has had a great year.
Right.
And touchdowns aren't the measure of a player, especially a receiver.
I think Arizona's got bigger problems than trying to get a touchdown for McBride. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't not play him because of the touchdown thing.
I agree.
I'm just saying that.
I agree.
It's going to happen. And then I got my guy Chiggy Okonkwo because he's my guy now.
I hear you.
And again, he's a PPR thing more than a touchdown. Are you going to pick him off the waiver wire
and plug him in?
I got Brock Bowers, dude. Why would I do that?
I gotcha.
It's about the only thing I did right in the draft was snag that guy late.
Well, I was analyzing my team and where I'm at and how I got where I am and stuff, and I totally fumbled the QB position in the draft.
I did too. I really did.
I'm not doing that next year. It's killing me. I still got a shot for the money, but I would probably be in first place if I would have just made the quarterback selection right.
Yeah, just sat there and grabbed Burrow or he was out there.
Definitely.
Well, once I settled on Goff and Stafford, I've been going off and occasionally Geno, but especially Goff has basically got me out of the cellar.
He's been huge.
Yeah.
Okay, I got Kelsey tomorrow versus Pittsburgh.
Okay. Oh, K-Dot is one more I had. I don't know if I mentioned
You keep throwing that dude out there and you don't do jack.
He's playing Carolina. Come on,
I don't care if he's playing the Sisters of the Blind.
Well, you have recency bias on these guys, dude.
That's part of the whole equation, Dork.
Okay, the whole your process, your system.
Yeah.
Okay.
My model.
Your model. Okay.
Okay, any more tight ends?
No.
Okay, let's go. Dude defenses, week 17. Hit me.
Okay, I mentioned some. These are the ones I mentioned in the waiver wire, but I'll just rehash it. Indy, Jacksonville, and Miami, because of the opponents, I think are all potential good plays.
Sure.
I also have Philadelphia against Dallas.
Okay.
Dallas, I have mixed. That's a stay away game for me.
Yeah.
With Hurts being questionable.
I don't think he's playing with a concussion.
Yeah, and the concussion isn't one of those things where if he wants to play, he'll work through it. The league can sit him down. So,
and even if he gets cleared, I don't know if I'd want to put him out there.
Right. Right.
But Kenny Pickens is hurt too, and he's terrible.
That could mean Tanner McKee is their guy.
Oh,
Good thing they can hand off to Barkley, I would say.
That's it. You'll see a lot of that.
And for that reason, follow that situation. Dallas might be a good play too.
Their defense has been playing lights out.
Their defense is back to its level of last year now that Parsons is back.
Yeah, it is.
And the DBs. And playing a young quarterback in Philly, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I got Seattle versus your Chicago Bears.
Bears, they haven't been a big turnover team lately.
They haven't yet.
Seattle's a good defense to play. Don't get me wrong.
They lead the league in sacks.
Yeah. And I think Caleb leads the league in getting sacks.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
In sacks given up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're bad. They might hit 70.
They might. Rabbit. They might.
Yep. And then I also got Tampa Bay versus Carolina.
Yeah, that's a good
They're
one.
at home. Carolina's packing it in, it looks like. They're still kind of playing tough, but
they beat Arizona last week. I don't think they're gonna roll over for Tampa Bay.
Right.
Tampa Bay may roll them over, but
Tampa Bay's a desperation play because they haven't been a good fantasy defense. But it's week 17, maybe.
It's week 17. They're playing a quarterback prone to turnovers. Yeah.
Okay, let's go Dorks.
Let's go Dorks.
Okay, Dork quarterbacks.
This was a tough one to put down because he's been so good, but Joe Burrow against Denver.
I got him.
I just have a feeling the snipe, that's you, buddy,
the gutter snipe,
is gonna figure something out.
I hear you. I'm with you. I got him down there too. I got Darnold versus Green Bay is going to be a dork.
I thought about it. I didn't go with that.
Bad matchup, and that Green Bay D's coming on.
You mentioned he's been a dork a lot, but I'll throw Mahomes out again.
Okay.
This isn't his best matchup, Pittsburgh.
That's for sure. Okay.
And they seem pretty secure with the number 1 overall seed. What does Buffalo have? 3 losses?
Yep.
I mean, you don't want to mess with it, but
Buffalo beat them.
Buffalo did beat them.
They got
so
the tiebreaker.
Tie,
yeah. They're both going to be going.
Mm-hmm.
Because, KC, if they don't get that home field advantage and that home cooking from the refs, they might have a hard time in the playoffs.
So how much do you think you're going to play them no matter what. This is the playoffs. But guys like a Josh Allen, I certainly wouldn't dork him. But should there be a reduced expectations where against a Jets team where he could sit a while, I think.
Maybe. I could also see him just going off.
And
yeah. I wouldn't make him a dork. That's for damn sure.
No, I just wanted to throw that out there, especially late in the year.
Okay, any more QB dorks?
No.
How about running back dorks?
Okay. He's been a dude for me for a few weeks, but Rico Dowdle will struggle.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup
against Philly.
Hard to run on Philly.
Yeah.
I got James Cook versus the Jets. It's a bad matchup.
And they might sit him. They might go more Ray Davis.
They might.
He's been lights out.
Yeah. But the playoffs are coming. You want that guy fresh.
Yeah. And I'm going to play James Cook, but
I would too.
I don't know that I'd be excited about. I'd be worried about it. Yeah, I agree. I got. It seems I'm always dorking him, poor guy. But Najee, against KC, best run defense in the league, and
I agree.
Joe Mixon against what also might be the best run defense in the league.
Warren might be a better play in that game.
He might be. He gets more receiving, doesn't he?
Yep.
Okay.
I got, he's been a dork lately, and I'm going to call him a dork again. I got Mixon versus Baltimore.
Yeah, I just mentioned him, so I'm with you on that one.
He's terrible.
He seems to be wearing down. Yeah.
Well, I thought they made a mistake giving him that big contract because he had looked in Cincy like he was wearing down.
Yeah, and he started off good, but you're right about him fading.
Yeah, he's fading.
And I put down Chuba because...
bad matchup.
Bad matchup.
I agree. I almost put Chuba down there.
Nothing personal, Chuba.
Wide receiver, Dorks.
The Packers. I wouldn't mess with it. If you want to take a chance, see who might perform well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame you, but it's just a new guy every week, and it's been crushing me all year, and like I need another reason to hate the Packers, but there you go.
I hear you. That's all. I got Lamb versus Philly. CD Lamb's going to be a dork.
Okay, I get that. Philly's been playing great against the pass.
Yeah, they have.
And they've been rushing the passer pretty good too. So,
yep.
But I can't do that to that guy.
I hear you. It's temper expectations, borderline dorkster.
But also, he sat out a lot of last week, right?
He's banged up too.
Yeah, and again, they
got nothing to play for.
He's their best offensive player.
Yeah,
pretty much.
He goes out there and blows out a knee. They'll regret it.
They're not going to mess with him, so there's that to think about.
Yep. Especially if that game gets out of control and Dallas is behind and they just, screw it. We're benching Lamb and other dudes.
And two guys in bad situations, and they're the second guy on their team, but they're typically being started. Jordan Addison and T. Higgins. They're kind of up against it.
Addison's been on fire.
But so is the Packers D.
True.
So.
Okay. I got your boy Jawan Jennings versus Detroit.
Okay.
Dork.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not playing him.
Okay. Tight end Dorks.
Tight end Dorks. Kittle against Detroit.
I almost put him on there. Hard to make Kittle a dork, but
I know.
He hasn't been doing much lately.
He hasn't been doing much lately. And again, he's injury prone. Niners out of it.
Niners might just rest some dudes too.
I wouldn't blame. He's an older player. I wouldn't blame him for sitting him.
I hear you. At least part of the game.
Jake Ferguson.
Yeah,
he's been my guy a lot, but again, Philly's tough.
Yeah, and he got that ball wrestled from him last week and created a turnover.
What a clown.
Yeah. I got Mark Andrews versus Houston. Going to be a dork.
Okay.
He's been, I think he's had touchdowns his last two games, but it ain't happening this week. Not against Houston. They play the tight ends tough.
How about Hunter Henry and Dalton Kincaid?
Yeah, I almost put both those guys down, but I don't know who the hell's starting those guys.
It's a matchup thing.
Right. Okay, Dork D's.
I got Green Bay.
I got Minnesota in the same game.
I got Minnesota too.
In the same game, but I can't make Green Bay a dork. I know it was New Orleans, but they were fired up last night.
They were good. They were very good.
And I think they're going to be fired up for this. It's a, division game, and there's a lot on the line. They want to knock them off.
I do think there's going to be some scoring, and I just don't see a lot of turnovers the way Minnesota and Green Bay are playing.
Yeah, this could be Darnold into the pumpkin, though.
It could be.
Anybody else?
No, that's it.
I got Denver versus Cincy, dork.
Okay, again,
they've been pretty good off and on, but they're hit and miss, and this is a bad matchup against Cincy because
it is.
Cincy's going to score points.
I agree.
Okay, here we go. Week 17 picks. Now we pick every game. I don't bet every game, or I'd be in bad shape. Talking about betting, real quick. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Heard a couple stats today. On the season, favorites are hitting 71% of the time against the spread.
71?
71.
The favorites.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And it was about halfway through the season, but the favorites are covering now.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the pros are getting killed, because a lot of times they won't play the favorites.
The pros love the dog, especially specific numbers like 7.5, 3.5.
Yeah,
and there is some history to that.
Yep.
But also the odds makers tend to adjust.
Yeah, they do.
And
home underdogs are only hitting at 43% this season. It's like a 20-year low.
And that years ago, that was the rock solid play every week, especially late in the year and in the division.
Yeah.
But I just think, I'm guessing, with players being in better shape and coaches they're probably working more on their mental acuity as well.
Right.
Travel being easier and stadiums being just not the real loud, little dangerous little bandboxes they used to be.
Right.
There's a lot of, suddenly there isn't as much a home field advantage as there used to be.
That's for sure.
The past decade or so.
I think that's part of what's reflected, but I also think it's the lack of parity where you've got about 10 bottom feeders that aren't covering it all, like that's Tennessee and Carolina and like all these other fucks.
I'm looking at Cleveland getting 6.5 this week against Miami.
Right.
At home. This is a warm weather team going into the cold, which in Miami's case, they got a bad history of that.
Today, I heard it's only going to be about 40.
About 40? Okay.
With
rain. But normally you'd say, okay, Cleveland, as bad as they've been, they're going to get a win here.
Yeah.
But now you don't know.
Yeah, and they've covered only 3 games all year.
And Miami is playing well. Cleveland, not so much.
Yeah.
You got to think about a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Okay, let's kick it off. We've got three games on Christmas. Kicking it off with the early game, Kansas City, -3 versus Pittsburgh. Totals 45, 43.5.
That's at Pittsburgh, I believe.
It is.
And after all that talk, I'm going to go with the home dog here, Steelers.
Okay.
I think they might win this game.
I actually took KC.
I get it. I'm going to stay away, but
I bet on Fez's recommendation last week and grabbed Pittsburgh at +2.5.
Okay, and they're 3 now.
Yeah, so I kind of missed the line on that one, but I got to stick with it. I'm not going to cash out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I got the over.
I have the under there.
Okay, Baltimore -5.5 versus Houston. The total's 46.5.
Baltimore.
I got them too.
I kind of waffled on this one.
I think this could be a blowout.
I think there's going to be a lot of scoring here. I absolutely love the over 46.5.
I got the over as well.
I think you're talking 34-24, 40 to something.
Yeah, there's gonna be I think there's gonna be good scoring.
I think if
it's indoors in Houston.
If you have players on these teams, I wouldn't argue with you playing any one of them that are going to be out on the field.
I agree. And then the last game tomorrow is Seattle -3.
Well, that's Thursday, actually, but...
Oh, yeah, the Thursday game.
Yeah.
Seattle -3.5 versus Chicago. In Chicago, the total's 43.5.
I'm going with Seattle. I love my guys. I'm part of the cult, but...
You got to be realistic.
I'm being realistic here, and see they got a team that's playing for their playoff life.
They've lost 9 or 10 in a row.
Yeah. And I just can't see them suddenly bringing their A game on a Thursday night after Christmas.
I agree. I got Seattle and the under.
I took the over on this one.
Okay. We got the Chargers -4 versus New England. In New England, totals 42.5.
I don't like this game. I see a 3-point game, 1-score game, so I'm going to take the 4 points.
I took New England too, and the under.
I took the under.
Okay, we got Denver +3.5 versus Cincinnati in Cincy. Totals 50.
2 teams still alive for the playoffs. I took the better team, and that's Denver.
Me too.
I think it's a bonus that I'm getting 3.5. I kind of like that as a money line play, the Broncos.
Okay. Yeah, I got Broncos too and the under.
I took the over.
Okay, we got Arizona +6 versus the Rams in Los Angeles. The total's 48.
Okay, I have it 6.5. I just saw it that way about an hour ago.
Okay.
Do you want to go with that?
We'll go with 6.5.
And again, I don't know which way to go on this, but I'm taking the points. Again, I'm another home. I got 3 home dogs already when they're having the worst.
When they're hitting 43%.
Actually, this is a road dog. I'm sorry. But I think it might be a close enough game. So.
Okay, I think the Rams are going to crush them. I'm taking the Rams in the over.
I got the under.
Okay. Jets +9.5 versus the Bills in Buffalo. The total's 46.
Okay, and an hour ago it had gone up to 10.5 actually.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we'll go 10.5. I did mine a couple hours ago.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I think while I was going down the list and it jumped up.
Okay, 10.5 for Dallas. I'll take Dallas.
Or the Jets.
I mean, okay, Jets.
I have the Jets. Again, I hate to go against Buffalo, but it's
Well, when it was 9.5, I was going with the Bills, but I'm not going to do a Chad and Simon. I'm sticking with it.
okay. Well, I think this might be a one-score game. The Jets have been playing fairly well. Not great, but better.
Okay.
So I think they might give them a game.
All right, we got Indianapolis -8 versus the Giants in New York. The total's 40. Oh, and I had the under in that game. Jets, Bills.
You know what? I'm not going to do the switch. I had picked the Giants earlier. I'm going to stick with them in the 8 points.
Okay, I'm laying the 8 with Indy. The Giants, I mean, for God's sake. And they are tanking for the number 1 pick, which they currently own.
They appear to be.
Yeah. And so when you're tanking, how are you going to generate points?
No, it's just 8 points. I could see a backdoor cover.
I could too. And Indy's unpredictable. They were lighting it up last week. This week they could lay an egg.
And you might get another 200 yards out of Jonathan Taylor this week.
I would hope so, man. I need it. It's getting tight in the bottom feeders. Okay, and I got the over.
I got the over as well.
Carolina +8 versus Tampa Bay in Tampa. The number's 49.5.
I took the points again, Carolina.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a shootout, but I think they can keep it within 8.
I'm taking Tampa Bay and laying the 8 and going under.
There you go.
Dallas +9 versus Philly. The total's 43. And this is one to watch because if Hurts isn't playing, that line probably come down.
Yep. Dallas.
I got Dallas.
They've been playing so well lately with getting 9 points. It might be a 30-0 Philly shutout, you know.
Could be.
But right now I think the best play is Dallas.
Yeah, I could see Dallas losing by a touchdown. I'll take the 9. And I got the over 43.
Okay.
Okay, we got the Raiders -1 versus New Orleans in New Orleans. The total's 37.5.
Give the Raiders are -1.
Yep.
Okay, I got New Orleans. If I'm getting them +1, I love it that much more.
I'm taking New Orleans too, but it's a stay away game.
I'm taking the over.
Only degenerates would bet that game.
Hi, my name is Ed.
Okay, I got the under. Then we got Tennessee +1 versus Jacksonville in Jacksonville. The total's 39.5.
You know, I think Tennessee's a slightly better team, so I'm going to take them to win here.
Yeah,
this game looks like a shit show to me, though. That I would never touch.
Yeah, I'm taking a pass betting it, but I'll take Jacksonville at home.
Okay.
And I got the under.
Okay.
Neither one of these guys are going to put up a lot of points, I'm thinking. Miami -6.5 versus Cleveland in Cleveland, and the total's 40.
I went with Cleveland.
I'm laying the points with Miami.
Okay.
I can't trust Cleveland.
No, you can't. But you can't trust Miami in the cold either.
I'm not going to bet that. And like I say, it's only 40 degrees.
Okay.
Okay, I got the over, though.
I took the under in that one.
Okay. Green Bay +1. This is probably the game of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Green Bay +1 versus Minnesota in Minnesota. The total's 49.
Give me the Packers. Again, better team.
I'm taking the Packers, too, and I'm getting a point.
Yeah. And I like the over. I think there could be some points scored in this game.
I got the over, too. We got Atlanta +4 versus Washington in D.C. The total's 47.5.
I went and took Atlanta.
I'm taking Washington.
I'm watching as I go down my picks. I'm thinking, God damn, I got too many dogs.
Yeah, I'm taking Washington, man. They're on a roll.
They're good.
And even if they get behind, they'll come back and cover 4, I'm thinking. Okay, and then Monday night, Detroit -3.5 versus the 49ers in Santa Clara. The total's 51.
Detroit?
I'm taking Detroit, too.
Yeah.
And the over.
I took the under, actually.
Okay.
51.
There we go. We got 2 weeks left, folks. There's your Week 17 picks. I'll tell you what I've already bet, Dork. Have you thrown anything down?
I'll give them my best bets, although they're really tanked in the past 3 weeks.
Okay.
But I'm due.
Go ahead.
Denver +3.5.
Okay.
New Orleans +1. Green Bay +1. Baltimore, Houston over 46.5, and Baltimore -5.5 on Christmas Day against Houston.
Okay. Here's what I've already bet. I mentioned that on Fez's advice, and I'm not going to knock my boy Fez. It's my choice to bet his.
Right. But it's good to see which way the wind is blowing amongst the experts.
I got Pittsburgh plus 2.5 versus KC in Pittsburgh. The line's now 3 or 3.5. So I didn't get the best line, but here's the line I do love that Fez gave me. I grabbed Baltimore minus 2.5 against Houston, and now they're 5.5. I could see that going up to 7 by game time.
Yeah.
And just this morning, I laid Washington minus 4 versus Atlanta. I'm laying the 6.5 with the Rams versus Arizona. And here's just a little fun bet. My DK account's doing well, so every once in a while you got to throw something out there. I'm taking Dallas on the money line plus 330 versus Philly.
You know, I may throw down on that one.
$10
when I get home. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, I agree. I
Dallas is playing well, and this could be a letdown spot for Philly if Hurts doesn't play. Dallas could get a pick 6 off Pickens, and all of a sudden they win the damn thing.
Right.
That one's for you, team of clowns. Okay.
They got a good lead, though. They're up around 80, 90 points.
Over 90.
The group of 3 behind them. So.
Right. Team of clowns would have to have a 60-something point week, and someone puts up 130. And
you'd have to have a couple of disasters. And
yeah, it would have to be a disaster. Okay. Thanks for watching Fantasy Football with the Dork and the Dude. Where can they find us, Dork?
Twitter, iHeart, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google.
Yep.
And Dork and Dude FFL on X.
Yep. Send us a message on X.
The website that President Musk owns.
Okay, everybody.
Don't want to get us canceled again, so
I'll
point out that was a joke.
Just don't mention the V word.
No, will not.
Okay, there we go. We will see you next week where we'll do our recap and we'll get ready for Week 18 and then the playoffs.
We need a producer.
Yep. Happy holidays, and we're closing it out here with Bang.
Enjoy the football this week. Enjoy the holidays. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate y'all. We're grateful for you all.
You see me playing an ukulele somewhere, by the way, Dork. Just tell me to get a life, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
No, that's a good life.